And we're back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Friday morning, I'm sipping on a cup of black powder coffee because it is delicious. And this is Local Biz Now, News Talk WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is the #1 talk business show. Go to the Tubes channel, and I'll prove it to you. We try to inspire, inform, and entertain you. Today is no exception. Matter of fact, today may be an exceptional reason why we do that. We have a very busy man straight from the North Pole of Statesville, and he will prove to you there is a North Pole in Statesville. Yeah. Santa John Kringle, founder of North Pole Delivery. My friend Santa, thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
we apologize for you having to put up with Isaiah's silliness. But that's what this show's all about. So thank you. We appreciate you coming in today.
My pleasure to be here today, Joe.
So here's what I want you to do. Describe for me the North Pole in Statesville. I want to know how you got here from the North Pole in Statesville.
Well, you know, Christmas Eve is such a busy night, so I have to have some annexes set up. So we have a North Pole annex right here in Statesville, North Carolina, where families can come visit if they want to, but we store our toys for Christmas Eve visits, and we have a beautiful reindeer stable there, and we've got a beautiful antique sleigh. People could come out on the flight deck when we're able to fly. There's also a few elf houses, an elf clubhouse, and the Claus Cottage, so they can experience Mrs. Claus' kitchen, Santa's workshop, and they can even see the official North Pole Post Office of North Carolina.
Wow. Where is that at if they wanted to come to that?
Well, they could visit the classic Claus Cottage on NorthPoleDeliveryCO.com, and just that would take them out there so they could see where that experience is at. We have experiences there typically Monday through Wednesday evenings, and it's private family visits is what it is. So they could decorate a cookie with the Claus family. They could have s'mores with Santa. They could do a craft with Mrs. Claus, any number of things.
So I'll tell you something that is intriguing to me, and that is when I go to the website, which is NorthPoleDelivery.com.
Yes, NorthPoleDeliveryCO.com.
I keep missing the CO.
That's important getting in there then.
NorthPoleDeliveryCO.com. There are 2, 4, 6, 7 different boxes which represent 7 different things that you offer. Am I correct about that?
Oh, that's correct. So, Santa, I'm busy typically from October through about December with our Christmas deliveries and things. But, you know, I dabble in a little bit of real estate and personal property auctions as well. As a matter of fact, we had the largest real estate auction in Lincoln County over the summer. But we also have a large train business for train excursions, for birthday parties, community events, all kinds of things on the Red Suit Railroad, as a matter of fact.
Red Suit Railroad.
Yes.
And so, Chris, I don't know if you can see this. If you're on the tube, you can see the website. What's really intriguing to me is all of the different things that you have put together. And, in fact, you'll deliver most of those, hence the North Pole Delivery, to special events, correct?
That's correct. Yep, we got a big red box truck you might see driving around town, and it have a trailer on there. It could have a train in there. It might have a sleigh or a Santa thrown in there, because we're anywhere from Carowinds to Charlotte Motor Speedway. As a matter of fact, I was out with the fine folks at Childress Vineyards, and we did a wonderful commercial out there a few weeks ago.
Wow, nice.
So for me, it was surprising to me to see all of the different things that you had. Is it just December, or people wanting Santa-type stuff year-round?
Well, we do Santa things year-round, so we help a lot of charities at Christmas in July events and things. We did an event down in Cornelius.
Whoa, back up. You can't nobody can see Santa in July. How does that happen?
It happened. I was in Cornelius, as a matter of fact, down there at a brewery. We had a great Christmas in July event with some folks down there for a charity.
Nice.
So we're all over. I've actually been down, Mrs. Claus and I, we visited the Outer Banks over the summer, and I made a mistake place down at Flower Power in Fort Mill, South Carolina this summer.
Wow.
And they had a cookie party that day, as a matter of fact. It was so wonderful.
So one of the things I see here is reindeer stables. What is that?
Well, that's our friendly reindeer stable website, so children can go out. They could write a letter to Santa. They got a template to learn how to do that. They could color a picture with Mrs. Claus and I, and they can see all the reindeer and learn a little bit about them.
Wow, you make it a pretty easy place for people to interact and connect. And
It is, most definitely.
so what's the most important thing about what you do?
The most important thing about what I do is for families to make memories and consistent memories. As a matter of fact,
For families to make memories. I like
Families
that.
to make memories.
That's
And how
nice.
do you do that?
Well, the one thing that happened last year is a family had put out posted pictures from the last 8 years that we visited with them. And I said, Mrs. Claus, what are we going to do to make it better next year?
Oh.
And what I said, what if a train delivered them to the North Pole?
Right.
And so that's how we got into train business. So this year, if people come to the Claus Cottage, they get about a 4-minute train ride down to the North Pole prior to coming to the event. And then they
nice.
get a private visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus and a train ride back to their vehicle.
Well, that's fun.
Yep,
It's a great experience.
It is. So
And
8
Whoa,
years
whoa,
we've
whoa,
done
whoa.
those memories.
These look like real reindeer now. This ain't no joke.
They're real reindeer. As a matter of fact, if you see Sprite, he's one of our new reindeer in training. He was actually trained in Hiddenite, North Carolina for a while.
Wow.
Sprite.
Sprite, yep. And you might have seen him. He's been in the Statesville Christmas Parade before. He's actually appeared over at the church in Monticello area. He was there
I
for
think I
Christmas
saw him
event.
flying over the lake last week.
Did you?
Practicing. Is
Maybe.
that possible?
That's
Isaiah,
possible.
what you laughing about? You don't think I can spot a flying reindeer flying over the lake? Isaiah is laughing at me. Santa, is it possible he was practicing last
It's
week?
possible, and to me, that tells me that you're a believer, Joe.
I am
Look, I'm
a
a
believer.
believer too. I'm 100% there.
I am a believer. I don't think, by the laughter in Isaiah, I don't think he is.
Someone's on the naughty list.
But yeah, that's right. I'm gonna check that naughty list, Santa, see if Isaiah pops up on that. So let's take a break for a minute. When we come back, people seem to forget. We got to make a living. I want to talk about your auction business. I know a little bit about that business, and it is an intriguing business. And so we'll talk a little business, and then we'll get in the show with a little bit more Santa. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Friday morning, we're talking to spectacular people. And today, at this moment, go to the tubes and you can see Santa John Kringle, founder of North Pole Delivery, CO.com. And there's a whole bunch of event things that you can participate in. If it's Friday morning, say it, Chris, say it.
Your business matters.
A little laugh, Santa, would be nice right now. Yeah. We'll be right back. And we're back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Friday morning, we are absolutely having a spectacular time. I am here with Chris Villani, the founder of Rise of the Super Athlete. I am also here with Santa John Kringle, founder of North Pole Delivery, and you can see all of the services for special events that he has at NorthPoleDeliveryCO.com.
Yeah.
Santa, thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to be down here in Statesville.
So Santa, here, let's change gears just a little bit. Although I would like to remind Isaiah, I did see the reindeer flying over my house last week. Let me just be clear about that, okay? But we'll sideline that just for a moment. Let's talk about your business, the auction business, because that's one of these businesses that intrigue me, right? And you were mentioned that you had sold had one of the largest auctions in Iredell County. Talk a little bit about that so people understand what that is. Lincoln County. Talk a little bit about that.
So we offer real estate a different way. We have a discount brokerage that we do through the summer months and things, and we also do it at auction as well. But what we can do is liquidate personal property as well as real estate. So we're a one-stop shop for that. And it doesn't cost the consumer anything because we have a buyer's premium. And so the buyer ends up paying the commission to our company is how it works. But we had 32 properties that came up in Lincoln County.
Is it just real estate that you auction?
Well, real estate and also personal property, though.
Okay.
But this auction was 32 properties at real estate in Lincoln County. We invested about $20,000 in advertising, and 28 successfully sold. I'm waiting on the last one to close, as a matter of fact. Today or yesterday is when it's supposed to close. But that was a great way to liquidate all those properties all in one fell swoop. And they got the highest market value on that, too, as well.
Wow.
Nice.
And so, I'm in and around auctions as a business guy all the time. This is going to be embarrassing. I don't think I've ever been to one. Well, can you walk me through what does that look like? How do you auction 30 houses?
Well, it's changed. The landscape's changed because the pandemic.
I no longer have to stand there and hold up a paddle.
Now we do everything pretty much online. So it's a timed online method is what we do. And if they go to redsuitrealty.com, they could see our websites and see any live auctions. Right now, we just finished one up, and so we won't be back into the auction business until probably February. We're busy up at the North Pole right now. But they're can go out and bid right online from the comfort of their own home. And so they don't have to stand at an auction for 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. They just do it, and they pick the assets that they want to purchase.
That is good to know, because that is the reason I never went. I didn't want to wait for the one item that I wanted.
Exactly.
Exactly is what he said. So come January, February, they need to go to redsuit.com.
redsuitrealty.com.
Yep. Okay. And you'll have a lot of auctions at the timing of the auction. So kind of like an eBay, correct?
Well, it's different than an eBay. We liquidated the last auction we did. We had about 800 lots in it. So it was a large collectible train auction, along with a piece of real estate down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
But I'm asking, the process, is it similar to?
It's similar to eBay, but we started everything at $1.
Okay.
And just let the market do what the market does.
Nice. Really?
And so we typically have about 160 bidders that'll come online, and then typically we'll have about 70 to 80 customers that'll come and pick up, or we'll ship out throughout the United States. So we can reach consumers all throughout the whole world.
Interesting. Yeah. And so if I wanted to have something placed on an auction, what happens if it only goes for $1 and I was really hoping to go for $5?
Well, you could do a reserve auction, because every auction in North Carolina would be considered reserve unless otherwise advertised. And so we could do a reserve auction. And that's what we do with a lot of real estate, is we have a reserve, and if it doesn't meet the reserve, it's not sold. Otherwise, we negotiate with the buyer and the seller and come to a conclusion, hopefully, and sometimes we might not.
Do you have to have a real estate license to do this?
Sure do. Yes, sir.
Interesting. Santa is a realtor. Did you know that?
I can't. Look, he's a busy guy. He's more busy than I thought he would be. That's impressive. He's spreading joy any which way he can. I tell you what, that's what we call entrepreneur.
That's it.
Entrepreneur.
There we go.
He's got his foot in everything over here. Wow. What's fascinating to me is you taking. You talked about how you had to expand your business. You changed it. It's almost like from COVID, you were one thing, but now you're another. Can you talk a little bit about that, what that was like?
Yeah, well, COVID was really tough, because Santa's all about being close to people. And so the year of the pandemic, we ended up coming up with the Claus Cottage. And we did virtual visits where people could virtually be online with Santa and have a visit. Yeah. But we had a trailer that we bought for Tanglewood, which is a large light show. Okay. And we didn't do Tanglewood for 2 years because of the pandemic. So we took that trailer, and some Christian schools said, we want to see Santa. What can we do? So we put an antique sleigh in the trailer. Right. The trailer opens up. It's like a concession trailer. We put a sound system in there, played Christmas music, stanchioned it off, put one of our reindeer at the front, and the children could talk to Santa and Mrs. Claus. We didn't have to wear a mask, and they could be in a group, take a group photo. And that's how we did a lot of visits the year of the pandemic. And we also had an antique sleigh. It was a candy cane powered sleigh. We did 39 visits, drive-by visits with that sleigh that year. And we have that. It's available if people want to see it. When they come to the Claus Cottage, they'll be able to see it as well.
They'll be able to see that stuff.
Yep, they sure will. So, but and it's all about the memories with families. That's what it's about. So, that's why we expanded into the train business this year. So if somebody has a special birthday party, they could get a train. We're doing a lot of daycares. And we're so booked. We've been booked since July this year.
Wow, good
and
for
we've
you.
got 29 folks that work with us. Wow. And we've got Santas from the Carowinds to Charlotte Motor Speedway and all points in between. Carolina West Wireless, we're at 3 stores up there. We were at Rock Outdoors this past weekend in Lexington. But we just reach so many folks and things. Right. And that's the nice thing about Santa is because we can help with print advertising and commercials and photographers. So we work with such a wide array of business professionals and help expand their business as well.
Right. And that's what I want people to hear. This is no joke here that we're talking about, right? I mean, you've got a website at classiccause.com, and I'm going there, and I literally can choose the Santa, the Mrs. Claus, and I could see for my business purposes and practices how this may become very important. Driving up here today, Santa, you're going to be at the I'm going to say it, just Randy Marion dealership. Because I saw that on his sign.
Yep, there's a sign there. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. So it's big business that we're talking about here.
Well, it's all about helping business is what it is, but also creating memories. Because to me, the child is the most important. And so we're picky and choosy when we come to business. When somebody gets a visit from Classic Claus, they're going to get a visit. And if it's scheduled for an hour and it takes an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to do it. If the magic ends in 45 minutes, we're going to end the magic so they have a memorable experience.
Right.
But we have about 135 positive 5-star reviews on our websites and things. So it's every Santa that works with us is a background check. We're a fully insured company, limited liability company, and we're full service. We have everything you need, from sleighs to thrones to chairs to Santas to pictures on site. We do it all.
So anybody who's looking for any experience with Santa Claus, you guys really are a one-stop shop. And you provide them a memory that they can walk home and remember for years.
We're
and
the
stuff
largest
like that.
in the Carolinas.
Yeah. Well, not only being the largest, it's not been the largest. It goes beyond that, right? I mean, the largest is a good thing.
Right.
But when people can walk away, can walk away 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now and say, remember when we did this. Now, how old is this business?
This business, well, I became Santa in about 2003, took over from Mom and Dad, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
So, yes, Mom, she was a phone Santa, and Dad, he helped with orphanages.
So it is a family business, huh?
It's family business.
Wow.
But I picked up in 2003. As a matter of fact, Santa Noah is going to be out this weekend, as a matter of fact, with the team, the Movement Mortgage team, the Share team, and he'll be out as Santa this year, as a matter of fact. Last year he made his debut, as a matter of fact. He was actually up at the Hidden Night Center.
So what keeps you in the business this long? I mean, 2003, that's... most people don't keep 2 or 3 years to keep it there, right? And most people, even the most professional jobs, you're out within a couple of years. But why is it you stayed, and what was the one thing, that even through the ups and downs, what was it that you're like, okay, there's a driving force that we're going to do here?
It's all about the children. I'll tell you, my mom and dad made me a believer when I was a wee little child, and I believed way until I was older. And so it's all about the children is what it's all about. And it's all about creating family memories for people. What
was like a major hardship with the business, and how'd you overcome it?
Hardship of the business was COVID, and then reinventing ourselves with our drive-by sleigh and coming out to the events and being stanchioned off, but still providing a spectacular experience for people. As a matter of fact, we were chosen as one of the top 100 Santas and Mrs. Clauses in the country with Larry Herzberger.
Nice.
He created a program, How to Save Christmas, as a matter of fact, the year of the pandemic, and we were happy enough to be part of that.
So you were able to take your business, go through COVID, which really did a number on everybody, and come out stronger and really almost more, what would you call it?
Well, we expanded because of COVID, as a matter of fact. That's how Red Suit Realty came into effect, as a matter of fact, because I was actually helping at a prison teaching for a college, and I got shut out of the prison. And so I got into real estate and auctions, and that's what we did there, and we just expanded that. And so this year was our busiest year in the auction business and real estate business.
The thing about the stories where it stopped most people, you had a bigger vision, then you attacked it. That's right. And you kept on moving forward, and obviously you're doing... It sounds like you're doing pretty darn good.
Forging ahead.
Yeah, good. Awesome.
So, I'm going to tell you my Santa story, because I get it. I really do. I go to your website, and I see all of these different guys helping Santa. Years ago, I was quite young and handsome at the time, you understand, so I'd make for a good Santa at the time. I had a dear friend of mine that was executive vice president of a large hotel firm. And the large firm was owned by a family group of Indian Americans. and wonderful people. And he said they were having their Christmas party, and he really wanted me to put on this Santa suit and go to the party. Joe, you have no idea how much they would really appreciate this. Now, I'm thinking, they're Indian American. I don't know that they even care about this. He said, man, I'm just telling you, they would really like it. All right. I'll put on the Santa suit, So I put on this Santa suit. I walk in the door. I'm telling you, they treated me like Santa. It was remarkable that every one of these people knew me, right? You understand, right? I went to school with these people, I'm friends with these people, I had dinner with these people. But the minute I put that Santa suit on, I'm telling you, it absolutely brought joy to everybody in that room. It was amazing.
I bet it brought joy to you, too, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely.
As soon as you put the suit on.
I still got a photo of me and my wife with me in the Santa suit on and this is 30 years ago. Yeah, just a wonderful experience. So you are bringing absolute joy to people.
Yeah. We are.
Yeah. My friend, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it.
My pleasure. And stop down and see me Sunday. I'll be at Main Street Antiques Design Gallery in Mooresville. And we'll be there from 11 to 3.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
Merry Christmas.
Santa
Merry Christmas.
John Kringer. Go to NorthPoleDeliveryCO.com. You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Friday morning, say it, Chris. Say it.
Your business matters.
Santa.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah. See you next week.